Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Man, that was loud.
I call to order the regular meeting of the City of Aransas Pass City Council, December 5th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. Let's all rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Thank you, Father, for the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Thank you, my Father, for the season that we're entering to. Let us remember, my Father, the love that you sent, that you have for us by sending your Son. We thank you, my Father, for what we have accomplished, and I know we have a lot more to handle as a city. I pray, Lord, that you guide us as a city council, our department heads, our city manager, that we make the right decisions for our residents. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to go to presentations and proclamations, and it's a post update on Fall Feast event by Caitlin.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Happy Monday. Gary, I think we have an attachment there. Thank you. So, Fall Feast 2022. First of all, thank you to everyone who took their time and their efforts to make this event possible. It was a phenomenal success. Our community truly enjoyed it, and it would not have been possible without the generosity of our volunteers, our sponsors, and of course our servers. So many folks from the city departments came together, and it was just a wonderful night of community. So we had the event catered from Butter Churn, beautiful meal served, all of the fix-ins. As you can see here, a couple of images from the food of the evening. We purchased a total of 750 meals, but of course, Mark and his family, his company, provided more than that. So we're thinking it was closer to 800 that was actually served. Next slide, please. Our desserts catered, provided by the Women's Club of Aransas Pass, and also special guests from the Corpus Christi Monday Club and the Juniorettes. Our decorations provided by Designs by Hope, and they did not disappoint, neither group. Next slide. Here is a list of our financial sponsors, our partners who came in and made this event something that was, of course, cost-effective and attainable for our city. And those sponsors are Union Pacific, HEB, Absolute Waste, Lineberger Attorneys at Law, Ardura, Safe Built, Roland Barrera Insurance, Adam Hinojosa, Representative J.M. Lozano, and Butter Churn Restaurant for their contribution to that total. Our catering cost was $10,125. In donations provided by those listed here, $9,500, making the difference $625, which was a phenomenal, for how many meals were served, that was really incredible. This year we provided something a little bit different. We added some activity stations, action stations. We reached out to a lot of local businesses and organizations, and we had 8 stations, and the kids and the families really had fun. The City of Ingleside Parks and Recs actually came out, and they had a really cool photo booth. They've been good partners so far. The library, the aquatic center, our Brush County Gun Show, they came out and supported. Local realtor Kayla Bingham, First Step Marketing, and then Lisa Griffin provided face painting, which was really fun. Next slide, please, sir. Thank you. And then here is just, this was a hard slide to try to pick just some of the amazing pictures of our volunteers, community members, leaders, and every single one of them with huge smiles on their faces. There's Santa. Really, it was a joint effort from all over. We had Alan Samuels, our finance department, the Lions Club, the ROTC group, Joe Dominguez, so many folks out that night. Next slide, please. This was something that I did want to kind of take a little bit of time to go over. We got a lot of really good regional publicity for this, in my opinion. It was covered that Aransas Pass community celebrated Thanksgiving together in a really fun and festive way. KIII did air us live at 6, which is their primetime slot. KRAS aired a video and an article. It was on their Yahoo Sports section. It was listed on the Coastal Bend Thanksgiving Meals and Giveaway section. And then, of course, in our local paper, information was shared prior to, and they're going to do a little cover piece after. So it was exciting to be, having our name and our legacy being shared across the Coastal Bend. So I wanted to take a moment to note that as well. All in all, the event, I think, was a tremendous success, and your support in going in the direction that we did and using your great ideas and your pointers, really, all the feedback has been phenomenal. Any questions?
Oh, thank you for all of your hard work, because we've never had those donations like that before, and that was a lot of work and on your part, so thank you so much.
Great success.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Kaylin.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to do a presentation on Christmas tree lighting ceremony. You're up again.
Sorry, I thought there was one in the middle there. So this one is just a brief update, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to make sure to inform you guys on Wednesday we will be doing a tree lighting ceremony. We're extremely grateful to the Chamber of Commerce for allowing us to use their tree, which they decorate every year in the center of town here. So we're incorporating that. We are adding lights to Newberry Park and lights in front of City Hall. None of that could have been possible, of course, without David and his team here. So that will be Wednesday, this coming Wednesday in 2 days, at Newberry Park at 5:30. So please arrive at 5:30. Santa will be arriving at 5:30. There will be hot cocoa, and a local church will be providing carols. So it'll be a lot of fun.
All right, looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now it's an update on McMullen Lift Station backup diesel pump. Mr. David.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So part of our critical infrastructure funding from FEMA is to install backup diesel generating pumps. So basically, when we have power outages, just turn on, go to diesel, and actually be able to still operate the lift stations. On one of them, the contractor came up to us and they spray painted all areas for us to confirm is this a good spot. And of course, we told them yes, this is a good spot for McMullen lift station along with the other ones. But the NEC code actually requires for us to have a 36-inch clearance from the electrical panel, and we only had 30, so we're shy 6 inches. So those 6 inches is enough for us to have to move that pump. The contractor did submit a change order for $17,000. It was rejected through my office, and what we're going to do, we're going to take this opportunity to get the experience for us to relocate the pump and actually do some ductile iron. We haven't done ductile iron piping before, so it's going to be a good opportunity because we're going to pour a new concrete slab, move it over ourselves, and just put a longer spool and add some extra 90s in there. So it'd be a good opportunity to get that experience on dealing with that kind of piping. And we're estimated to do it for about $4,000. So sure, it's about 25% of the cost, well, less than 25%. But the good thing about it is that none of it will be going to overhead, none of it going to profit. It will literally be all in receipts to vendors for piping, for concrete. So we'll actually have actual physical receipts of where this money's going to. So I just want to give you an update on that. And as a matter of fact, my team's actually pretty excited to do it because they said they hadn't done ductile iron piping before, and I think it'll be a good experience for us to do it.
Good deal.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, Lord. We're going to go to the consent agenda. All of the following items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of this item unless a council member so requests. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
There is a correction on the October 24th special meeting minutes. It says that the meeting was adjourned by Mayor Gomez. He was absent. It was adjourned by Mayor Pro Tem Carrie Scruggs. And with that correction, I will approve the minutes of The special meeting, October 24th, 2022, the special meeting, October 31st, 2022, and the regular meeting of November 7th, 2022, as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to public hearing, which is case number CC 2212-04. Public hearing on request by the city of Aransas Pass for disclosure, abandonment of a poor right-of-way being a paper street called Camilla Street, Clover Street, Quaker Street, and Solomon Street, each measuring 50 feet in width and 165 feet in length, and each street bordered on the west up Huff Street and east by Brown Harbor as depicted in Exhibit A of attached ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This right-of-way closing is coming before you today because those are not improved streets. They are paper streets that was platted but never improved. And so the city owns those portions of the property. And in order to make it much more usable for lease to prospective applicants, it's better to close the paper street so that the property can be used meaningfully. Thank you. Any questions?
No, I didn't even know those streets existed there, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So, and we're only talking on the side where the picture shows, on the harbor side.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we, oh, I'm sorry.
No,
We're
time
done.
out. We need
It's
to-
a public-
That's right, it's a
Anybody got
public
any
hearing.
questions
You're right.
from the public? No? Anybody on the phone?
No.
Okay,
No.
well, I declare this public hearing closed. Now we're gonna go to, consider an act on a request by the city of Aransas Pass for closure, abandonment of a four right-of-way being the paper streets called Camilla Street, Clover Street, Quaker Street, and Solomon Street, and measuring 50 feet in width and 165 feet in length, and each street bordered on the west side by Huff Street and on the east side by Brown Harbor as depicted in Exhibit A of attached ordinance.
Okay, now I'll make a motion that we approve the closure or abandonment of the four right-of-ways, being the paper streets called Camellia Street, Clover Street, Quaker Street, and Solomon Street, each measuring 50 feet in width, 165 in length, and each street bordered on the west by Huff Street and on the east by Brown Harbor as depicted in Exhibit A of the attached ordinance.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And I'm gonna go to open public hearing on case number PZ 2211-21 is public hearing on amending the code of ordinance of the city of Aransas Pass, Texas to establish and regulate an RV recreational vehicle overlay district within the city by amending the zoning ordinance number 1308 and amending chapters 5.5 and 5 of the code of ordinance, providing a publication date and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. During the workshop on the 29th, I presented this RV Park Overlay District to you. There were some issues that were raised. Number one was the map was not clear enough for council members to review and get assurance that those maps and the locations in the yellow were very particular to what we have given you. And so we did, as recommended, we indexed those parcels and listed the locations and possible addresses to them. There are some that are not developed. There are others that are already existing. And so that's what we did. I just got information that council members will want to have addresses and very particular information on as to those that are not developed, as to when council approved them. I went through the files and I was able to quickly pull about 2, which I have here. But there are other 2 more, so if you want to look at them. One is the Farlow property that you approved.
We know that one.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And so the other one is the one next to Public Works,
Okay.
if you remember.
But I thought that contract fell through.
Yes, but the zoning still exists.
So it was zoned for,
RV Park.
it
Okay,
was
so
zoned,
that,
okay.
okay, so that's,
I remember that, but I
okay.
thought, okay.
Okay.
all right. And,
So
and where were the other two?
one is on Guile
Okay.
of 35, and
Okay.
that I couldn't pull, but I can do that if you,
And
if you can
there was
remember.
4, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
the very last one is an old approved 2-acre RV park that even they've done the lanes, the pipes and everything. It's just behind Palms on Demery.
Oh,
It's
oh,
very,
I
yeah,
know what you're talking about.
not significant one, but we added it. So
Bless you. Okay.
so
all right.
yeah, that one. Yeah, so we added that one. So
Because I know that I was the one that requested the date when the council actually approved for these properties to be,
rezoned.
rezoned for RVs.
Yeah.
And the individual or the company that we're working with in order for, that's just what I need. Before I can proceed with this, I'd like that information.
Yeah.
Because vacant land to me indicates that it's just raw land that anybody can purchase and build an RV park. But from what I understand from you is that they've already approved in the past. And so I would like to have the names, and when we approve those as a council.
Yeah, the ordinance. Yeah.
The ordinance to
Yeah.
an RV. I'd like to have that
Okay.
information, because without that, I'm not.
Yeah, I have the 2 here, but the other 2 I don't. But it's on the one on Guile is already on the zoning map anyway. But I understand you want to see it, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just from,
I understand.
That's at the council members, if they're okay with it, that's just my
Yeah,
questions.
So we had
it's
already-
already on the zoning map. So
Okay, I understand it's on the zoning map, but you're saying that we had already approved
Yes.
that land as a
rezoning.
as an RV park, because
Right.
somebody had come, obviously, to the city to purchase it.
Yeah, it's been processed as a rezoning application and approved.
Just like Furlough.
Well,
Yeah.
He's on there.
The one on Demery, I remember,
Demery,
and
I remember.
Furlough's,
Did you get this list?
and the one by Public Works, I
I remember
remember.
the Public Works one.
I don't remember
Yeah.
the Guile.
Yeah, that's
There's
what I'm
only
saying.
two
I
of
don't
them.
remember Guile either.
I only know 2.
I don't remember Guile.
I will.
That's the one from Farlow, no?
No. Furlough is,
It's on South Commercial.
North Commercial,
Going
where
down.
the old
35.
Pepitos used to be.
Say that again.
The one on 35 on Gow,
Yeah.
is it the one over there close by,
This is, the name is already there. But this is the one here, this one here, this one here. Those are the ones that I don't have names or when we will
Yeah.
rezone. That's
I will.
was my
Yeah,
question.
I will pull it up. I will
I
get
do
the
remember the
ordinance for you.
three of the 4.
Yeah.
I know.
Say that again.
I do remember 3 of the
Yeah,
4. I
one-
don't remember
okay,
the
one
Guile.
more.
So Furlough is not the one for Guile, though.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
Furlough's North Commercial,
Yeah.
where the
Okay.
Pepitos used to be.
I
Right,
guess
I-
that
I-
one.
Next to the Pepitos.
Yeah,
I
you
just
are-
didn't
you are
know
familiar
what
with
that
it.
side street
Yeah.
was.
Yep, yep.
By.
Yep.
What is the side street where Furlough's?
same one?
Guile and commercial. It's kind
So
of
it is
facing.
Guile,
Yeah, it's
but
it's
it's a
Guile.
separate one. You're
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
a
the
separate one. That is much more toward 35 on the other side.
Okay.
It says bypass.
Okay,
It says
Oh.
35 bypass.
yeah, that's.
Well,
It's-
yeah, there were 2 out there on the bypass. The
Yeah.
one by Public Works, and then,
Right.
okay, you're talking about the one, so I remember all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Well, you're
Yeah,
pretty good
but she says she wants the
She says
addresses,
on
so
the P&Z.
I will pull the ordinance for her to see. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
What was the original purpose of this map? Because What's getting me is anytime anybody wants to build an RV park, regardless of this map, if it's in existence or not, they still have to go in front of planning and zoning, and then it has to come to the council to be approved, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So-
I just don't see a purpose.
So this particular map, the purpose was to identify the existing RV parks and the lands that planning and zoning and the council have already approved for RV parks, but for whatever reason, the developer didn't develop. That's
Yeah.
what this map is for.
As at this point, that is what it is, and it's open to anybody new coming in. We're going to use this as a guide
Yeah.
and make sure when they propose, we add it to the location map.
So at this point, we just have to decide, I guess,
Yeah,
if
it's okay,
It doesn't have any future ones.
right,
if we, say Tom Furlow wants to sell his property and not develop it, then whoever he sells it to with this map will automatically be approved. They don't have to come back to P&Z. It's already zoned
Correct.
for the RV park.
correct.
Without this map or without this declaration or whatever.
Except for the design. in the case-
Well,
Yeah.
yes,
The-
not the design, but just for
So,
the land use.
They are talking of the land use.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Gary said, for the design, for example, Fallow has come before you, he's presented his design already.
Yeah.
Let's assume somebody comes in, purchases that property, and he has not presented the design. We will let him come up with the design and bring it before you to approve, to
Well,
make
here's
sure.
my
he-
question. If he sells it to somebody else that wants to build a retail center there,
Mhm.
then it has to still be rezoned, right?
Yeah, that is a whole different.
Right.
That
Then
is
it
where
has
the-
to be rezoned.
Yeah, that is where
Either way.
this map is very good. If you are not in this map, that means you cannot do an RV park.
Right.
Okay, I want to make sure that,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one, when you were, I guess, with the mayor or with Kerry,
Uh-huh.
I didn't understand that anyone can come. So I want to make sure it's clear. Only the properties that are highlighted in yellow,
Mhm.
an RV park can be established. No one else can go to XYZ block, come to you and say, I want to build an RV park. You have to say no because it's not on this map.
Correct.
I want to make sure I understand that.
Yeah, that's what this is for.
Okay, I want to make sure,
Yeah.
because this is all existing, so a new person coming in, I want to make sure I understand
With
that.
this exception, someone can come anywhere, but they have to be rezoned, and they have to be designed. It's
Right.
got to go
They
through
can still
steps
go
that
through
have
the
to go
process.
through you.
Yeah.
Well, okay, then my question is, I thought our concern, it was my understanding, we were going to address sections of town, kind of areas that we would like an RV park. Then what you're telling me is it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
Regardless of what, somebody can build an RV park in the property across from me, even though it's not on this map, but they can build an RV park there. Is that what I'm understanding?
No,
No.
no.
Okay, I'm
really.
confused here.
No.
I
Let
know,
me-
really.
but they have to go through the process, but if they want to build there, they can.
Well,
No.
they have to
Only
go
we allow
through.
it.
That's what I'm
they
saying,
have to
the process.
Start from ground point one.
Only we
They-
allow it.
They have to rezone, go through citizens to rezone the process, and they have to design. There are a number of steps anybody can go through.
Yeah, these locations are already zoned for that. So
Right.
They don't have to come back.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Only
the
for the
reason for
design.
this
Yeah,
map,
this
is
But-
If-
we're trying to show you where those properties are that are rezoned already.
Yeah.
And there are 3 or 4.
I understand.
Yeah.
That have only been rezoned, and that's
Right.
as far as they've gone. They're
Correct.
vacant at this point.
But other developers can come in and request to build an RV park on XYZ property. It still has to come through your office, it has to be presented
For the
to
design of it.
council,
Gotta go to you.
and all of that, so
It's
we
only,
may approve, we may
Correct.
go, ooh, XYZ is a great location, go for it.
So is everything in
I haven't found a great
yellow,
location in town.
everything in yellow's already zoned?
Yes.
Or everything, every
Yes.
square inch of it?
correct.
Right.
And so, like, Ms. Kerr, when you say that, as soon as you approve that location, the new location, then we will add it to this yellow list.
Correct.
That's what it means.
That's
These are
not what I
only
understood.
places that are already.
So simple, it's very
I
simple.
know it's simple, but
Yeah,
I was led that this was going to be it, no more around town. That's the way I understood.
You have the option when it comes to you, and anybody comes in and you say you
No,
are not going to.
no,
That's
you're
up
talking
to you.
Yeah.
It's up to you to say this is it, or you want to allow any other. That's your decision.
Okay, I'll cut off. I'll quit talking, Noel. I'll quit talking now.
If you feel what is there is enough for the city, that's up to you. If you feel there's a new one that is a good spot to be considered, that's all up to you. That's all this is about.
Vicki left the last meeting, if I understand what you're saying, thinking that these are the only spots, nothing else.
Right.
And what we're saying is that is essentially correct, but not really. Because if someone wanted to come in, they've got to go through the rezoning process that involves citizens, got to notify within 200 feet and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
the
That's
process,
not an
yeah.
easy process.
Yeah, they have the public
But-
hearing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's all up to you to decide whether you want more or you don't. That's up to you. But this is a guideline for you to follow. That's it. So simple. Okay.
Any other questions? Come up here.
Maybe, oh, there you go.
Melinda Williams, citizen of Aransas Pass. I am concerned with, yes, you guys have these approval in this map and they're already zoned for that. But developers have to spend money, lots of money, before they get in front of P&Z, and time is money, and before they come to council to be shot down. Isn't it also with this double-edged sword that you can actually say, okay, we're going to do this and this, they're already zoned that way, but also say where you cannot and will not accept any RV parks? I just wanted to plant that seed in your peanuts. No disrespect. But that's my concern too, because the developers have to spend a lot of money, because you can't go to P&Z without a plan. You can't go get a permit without a plan. Well, those plans cost thousands of dollars, from engineers to get certified, and architects. So wouldn't it be better to know where you cannot build and where you can be accepted to build an RV park? That's just my little input. Thank you.
And right now, it's only those yellow spots,
No cuatro, ¿verdad? Okay.
right at the yellow spot.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
I-
only place.
Yeah.
But I can understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
Same here.
That's what I thought we were doing with this particular map. No other property in the city of Aransas Pass can have an RE park, only the ones that are on this sheet of paper. That would keep a developer from trying to come in, spend all that money, if we decide, oh, no, not that particular section right there. But apparently that's not what's gonna happen.
I think I can help explain something.
Okay.
In zoning land use, there are uses by right, automatic right, and uses by permission. So the yellow spots are by right because they're existing. Anywhere else will need to be by permission.
Correct.
I hope that clarified. If it didn't, I'm sorry.
Isn't that correct?
I think the other thing that you should note is that the current zoning ordinance, not this one, but the current one that's live today, has manufactured homes and RVs under the same use. In our world today, manufactured homes don't look like RVs anymore. There are many manufactured homes that look like homes that were built on site. And so with the housing as it's going, many areas are getting manufactured homes that look like homes on site, right? They don't want to have manufactured homes such as those that look so new and like a nice built home next to an RV. And right now in the city of Aransas Pass, they can be. The city council instructed for there to be a separate difference between a manufactured home and an RV. And this is one of those steps. There will be future ordinances that will need to be presented to the council for contemplation, and that will be more specific about the types of manufactured homes. Because there's mobile homes, there's industrial manufactured homes, there's manufactured homes, modular homes. Yeah. So right now, we're just at the cutting edge. It's just stripping both of them, manufactured home versus RV. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because right now, they can both be on the same lots next to each other.
Great point, Roxanne, and thank you very much. I would also like to add for you guys to think about when you're rewriting this ordinance is a year, the minimum year that you can have for a RV that can be in there, or you can have a mobile home, or however the people pull trailers in and that type of thing. Because I know for a fact that there are surrounding cities, being that I'm a realtor, I've run across this, that you can only have a minimum year that they can bring a home in.
I thought
And you're
we
shaking
did.
your
I
head
think
no?
there already
I
is.
thought we did, 7 years.
Yeah.
You can't have anything over 7 years, a manufactured date. Is that correct? 7 years.
Right, but then there's the RV parks right on Commercial do not exhibit that.
I think they grandfathered in. Is that right,
Be
Roxanne?
grandfathered out.
Out.
I agree.
I agree. So,
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Public hearing part, right?
mhm.
Okay, my name's Dominic Hernandez, 304 Franklin. Normally we have to say that before in P&Z. I'm from Gregory, born and raised. My wife is from Aransas. She's a teacher here, or used to be at Falk Elementary. And I would like for the property that me and my dad own at the moment, to be included in this RV park overlay. We went forward with the P&Z, or we went with the P&Z committee. They initially said yes, 7-1, and then they went and did it again, and then it was against 3-2, I believe. So I would like to bring that to your attention, so that way we can possibly be included into this property. Now, I understand that you may, not like properties to be part of the RV park per se, but on this property, this one is a little bit different, meaning that it's not on the thoroughfare, meaning it's not on a main road that you see coming into Aransas, or on a main road for that matter anyway. It's behind a boat barn on South Rife and Houston Street. And on that thoroughfare, it's a hidden gem, so it's not on any access road or any main road. Another thing that would help out, or that I think that it's a good thing, is that homes are needed in this area. Whether it's a manufactured home, an RV home, the Hogan Homes that comes, a developer comes in. Other words, you're going to be behind. Right now, it's at an exponential rate that we need homes in this area. And if you're not on that curve, or on that, or if you're not realizing that, then you're in the past per se. Meaning that you need to you jump on that train, so that way you can get some of that money or tax money to help better infrastructure, whether it's the roads, drainage, different items, a new pump for the city, for emergency use and things of that nature. Another thing too is that whenever you have a whenever you have an RV park and you have a swimming pool per se, or a playground, that also means that sex offenders cannot be within a 500-foot radius. So it's not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. That's helping keep the riffraff out of your area as well. Now, the other thing too is that with this piece of property, it's about 2.5 acres, a little bit more than 2.5 acres, and we bought it with the intention to apply to get the RV park. So whether it be now that we're able to start doing it, or it be 10 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, we're going to keep trying to go for this. This is something that I see that me and my family would help us out.
Mayor, it's been 3 minutes.
It's been 3 minutes? Okay. So what I'd like to tell you, or like to end with, is that with this piece of property, taxes will be about $30,000. So about 1/3 would go to the city. Right now, it's only $3,000, so you would only get $1,000.
Okay, but we already end up with the 3 minutes.
I'm at 3 minutes? Okay. 10-4. Well, thank you very much. So I would just stop right
Okay, hi, my name is Gilbert Hernandez. That's my son. The reason we're here, we're asking to see if you can put us on the overlay. Like he told you, we already applied with P&Z, went through, then it, for some reason it didn't go. But this is, the reason I'm here is, well, let me explain to you where we're at. We're right behind Bill's Boat Barn. And excuse me for if I'm shouting, I'm a little bit deaf. I worked at Turon for 20-something years, and my hearing seems like I can barely hear myself. But anyway, we're right behind Bill's Boat Barn. And right behind Bill's Boat Barn is Houston Street. If you go to that street, it's a dead end. That dead end has a seawall. So there's no neighbors there on the other side. I mean, you can't see the neighbors on the other side. Now, when you go in there, there's Neptune Hotel. You keep on going. There's 3 houses on the left, one's vacant. Then you have the Chacones, and then you keep on going, okay? Then, let's say you come back on Rive Street, because we own part of that Rive Street. That also is a dead-end street. That dead-end street, if you look around, it's vacant. My neighbors, Bustos, they're for it. They said that the only reason they don't want me is they don't want me to flood them. Other than that, they are for it. I talked to Randy. He owns right next to me, and he's got 1 acre, and he's the owner of, I believe, Bay. Anyway, he said, hey, man, why not? We're pro for business. It's a good business thing. Let me tell you why I think it's really important at the end of the day. I really would like for you guys to go see it. I think this place is phenomenal for an RV, out of sight. And if you really look around, there's like 4 or 5 RVs there. Please, so it'd be nice if you could go. But let me tell you on the taxes. If we build this, it's going to cost us about $1 million. Right now, we're paying $2,572 because it's only worth about $100,000, both lands. If we get this appraised at $1 million, just $1 million, property tax would be, we'd be paying the city tax or appraisal district or what do you call it, taxes for property tax, $26,000. If we built it for 1.5, because it's going to have a swimming pool. That's what he was talking about. It's a RV resort. If it's for 1.5 million, it's going to be, we're going to be paying 39,000. And if it's 2 million, it's 52,000. Okay. All right. Thank you. Please come and see it.
Hernandez.
All right, any other questions?
Okay, I just want to address again why these people need to not be on this map. First and foremost, all of that property is an R7A. It only touches an R7A. Unfortunately for them, they didn't do their due diligence, and they can never build an RV park there if they go just by our ordinances now. Now, for whatever reason, even with our strict ordinances we have now, they have gone in and completely annihilated the property. It is in a FEMA flood zone, AE flood zone. They also, this backs up to McCampbell Ditch, and they took the berm out. So Ms. Bustos is worried about flooding. She is going to flood. No. They also do not meet the city standards. If they would open up the standards manual, there's multiple reasons why an RV park can never go there. The fact that they have caused the stress to my family for the last almost 2 years is ridiculous. And the fact that they're up here speaking when y'all stopped me from speaking on the NFIP violations that they caused. So for the city of Aransas Pass, these are the people that put our city in NFIP violation. They were the reason that we could lose our flood insurance. Y'all have violated my 14th Amendment right by allowing them to get up here and talk to you and not allow me to. This is absolutely absurd. And if it means this map passing just to stop people from going into residential areas and destroying a natural wetlands in a beautiful area and not having a development permit and being allowed to because they're given favoritism by their very good friend who the mayor has said is theirs. They crossed his property with a bulldozer to go in, and literally this property is compromised. Nothing can ever be built there. They dug 10-foot holes by 30 feet wide through all 2.5 acres and buried the 2.5 acres worth of trees and fencing and brush and mangroves and all the natural resources that were there. Everything is compromised. It's a landfill. So they can sit here and they can come every year, and every year I will fight them. But the fact is, I shouldn't have to. This is the chance for y'all to do what is right. What I've been asking y'all to please come in and help me do for a long time. It's not fair that I have to get up here and plead like this. Y'all can see right now what y'all have done. This isn't right. It's a residential area. We didn't go in and buy in an RV park. We bought in a residential zoning because we want to live next to homes. If they want to go build an RV park, go buy GB. Go buy one of these properties. Don't come in and buy in a residential area. And if y'all don't pass this, or you do pass it, I do believe that the MH and the RV need to be separated, but please put in there that it will never be in a residential area. I don't want anyone to go through this.
Okay. Thank you.
These are the ones that are involved.
Yes, but we're good. We're not gonna start back and forth.
Okay.
We're not gonna start back and forth. Yeah, we're not gonna go back and forth. Okay, that's, right now, let's, okay, we're gonna keep resuming with this meeting. Okay, any other questions?
No.
You can only come around one time. Okay, well, I declare this public hearing closed, and now we're gonna go to consider an act on amending the code of ordinance of the city of Aransas, Pass, Texas, to establish and regulate an RV recreational vehicle overlay district within the city of amending this zoning ordinance number 1308 and amending chapters 5.5 and 5 of the code of ordinance, providing a publication date and provided an effective date. Favor of the council?
I make a motion to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Aransas, Pass, Texas, to establish and regulate an RV recreational vehicle overlay district within the city by amending the zoning ordinance number 1308 and amending chapters 5.5 and 5 of the Code of Ordinances, providing a publication date and providing an effective date.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No,
Any opposed?
No.
no.
I'll say yes. Because these are already RV parks, the ones we're talking about in the overlay.
And don't add anything else.
Any other new stuff needs to come through or whatever. And I understand about developers coming in and spending money, but hey, it's part of the process if you want something. I'm sorry, that's business. Consider an act on canceling the regulatory scheduled city council meeting on December 19, 2022 due to Christmas holiday.
This is done in cities throughout the state, throughout the nation, actually. And if you agree, then there would not be a second meeting in December, if you agree.
Any questions?
I make a motion to cancel the regular meeting on December the 19th due to the Christmas holiday.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Is considered an act on rescheduling the January 2nd, 2023 city council meeting to Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023 due to a city holiday.
It's that time of the year again, and pretty much the same issue. Except we have to delay the council meeting because of the holiday.
Make a
we-
mo- oh, make a
Okay, make a
motion.
motion to reschedule the January 2nd, 2023 city council meeting to my birthday, Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. Happy birthday. Due to a city holiday.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Consider an act and renew an agreement with Family Counseling Service, oh, time out. No, my bad. Consider an act on renewal of interlocal agreement between the City of Aransas Pass and San Patricio County to provide health-related services for a 3-year period beginning January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2025.
Mr. Mayor and Council, this issue is coming to you for a couple of reasons. And the Director of Environmental Health, I think, Health, he can correct me, with San Patricio County is here. But the first year, there'll be no cost, but the second and third year, there will be cost. And there are good reasons for that. And I'll let Gabriel introduce himself and talk about why those costs are necessary.
Hello, good evening. My name is Gabriel Arroyo with the San Patricio County Environmental Health Department. Our department is the agency responsible for our on-site sewage program, which is septic systems that are out within the city limits that we regulate and permit, and also food service inspections. We've been providing these services for, I don't even know how long, several years, 20, 30, 40 years. There's never been a cost associated for these services that we provide. However, due to the last few years, it's costing a lot of time and effort to maintain our licenses and continuing ed hours and basically getting the inspections done at these restaurants. They're inspected 3 times a year. We do retain the permit fees from the establishments. However, most of our time is actually spent cracking down on illegal food vendors and illegal septic installations that, we have to send to court, and that's a lot of the time that's not coming from a permit fee. So I know mostly everyone's budget has been set for 2023, so we cover 12 cities throughout the county. Next year for 2023, there will be no charge to anyone. The fees are based on the number of establishments. The city of Portland and Aransas Pass have the most within our county, so you fall like on the 3rd tier, which is the second year, a minimal cost of $3,000, followed by $6,000 the third year.
Okay, I guess I'm not really understanding. Why would the city be paying that fee?
For us to
Why?
provide the service to the city of Aransas Pass.
Okay, but
Why does that pass on to the
to the
business owner?
restaurant? to the
It does
business,
it
or-
does for the for us inspecting the establishment, but what's costing us money is going door to door, illegal tamale sales, illegal installations that we have to go. So that doesn't come from a permit fee.
Well, why wouldn't you fine them something or get them? Why is the city being punished with that money?
Well, the thing is, and also the city has never been charged for this service. So
Neither has anybody else. You said that nobody's been charged for that service.
right. So I mean, to help defray and offset our costs, it's a minimal charge.
I just don't understand why the city has to pick up that fee.
Yeah.
It's up to me.
So, I mean, our current agreement is until December 31st. So, I mean, the city is, free to decide how they want to move forward, but you would have to get, in line with TCEQ to get your setup with those people, hire a health inspector, benefits, medical insurance. I mean, it's a lot of cost.
That is correct. We would have to hire or train significantly someone to do this.
At least
It would be much more
$100,000.
extensive than this for
Well,
us.
I understand that, but I guess I'm not really totally understanding, Kaylin has a food truck. She hasn't gone through, no, she doesn't have a food truck. She's selling tamales out of her car. And, you should be punishing her for doing it, not
That's up to
charging-
the court system at that point.
I mean, the city is having to pay a price for her doing illegal work.
I look at,
So,
I look at it as we're paying part of a salary, is what we're doing.
mm-hmm.
If that's what.
Yeah, I mean, nowhere near
I know,
for,
I
yeah.
know, I know.
I mean, it's $3,000. I mean,
Right, I understand.
some of the samples that I pulled were in the $20,000 to $30,000 to $40,000 range. So, I mean, this was just a minimal cost that we initiated. So,
I know we have to do it. I don't like it, I should say, because I just
Understand.
don't think that's right.
Understand. but on the other.
But you have to do it.
Yeah.
But I was
Yes,
trying to
ma'am.
get my point around. Melinda?
You wanna come up here so they can hear it on the mic?
Great arm candy. I have a question for you, sir.
Okay.
A few questions, actually. You said how many cities in San Patricio County?
We have 12
Okay.
that are
So-
incorporated.
That are incorporated, that you go and travel to at all times?
Correct.
Okay, great. And by the way, thank you for what you guys do. Is every city going to have to pay this fee?
Yes.
Okay, and how is that fee derived?
It's determined by the number of establishments. So we have like 3 tiers. So the first one is anyone under 30 establishments. The second tier is 31 through 60. And the last one is 61 and over, which, like I said, is only Portland and Aransas that have that many.
Okay, all right. And so the fee is what, based on what? I mean, you know, like, it's $1. So one of the towns that have less than 30, they're gonna pay $30 a month?
Yeah, so we kind of like, well, I kind of like broke it down into like the number of times that we visit a city. You know, it would have taken me forever to actually pinpoint a target number. So it was just like a minimal charge that I came up with. It's not really based on anything like, you know, like itemized.
Mhm.
You know, I just felt like this was the price to go with, you know, like.
Council, do you understand what I'm trying to do here is give you the
Yes.
formula
Yeah,
that
because
I
that
sure
kind
do.
of comes
We
out?
pay-
Needs to
So
be
I
a
think that's what they
formula.
might wanna know.
Yeah,
But-
so I mean, if.
Me as a restaurant owner, I think my fee's like $350 a year,
325.
but they do 4 inspections per year. They do them every 3 months.
Right,
Okay, so
okay.
now as far as them wanting to get help to make sure that we get those inspections done, because we need them according to the TCQ and everybody else. And as what he was saying earlier, it's either pay us or go out and find your own inspector to do all
Exactly.
that. And those inspections will be a lot higher than $300 per business, because he's saying we have 12, and he's asking for 3,000 for the first year. What was it?
The first year, no charge.
First year is no charge.
The
and then
second year is
the-
3,000,
And the
and
third
the
year
third
is.
3,000.
3,000 in the second year.
6,000.
The third year would be 3,000, or
Yeah,
6,000.
so you're pretty much saying that they're charging $300 for 4 inspections per year,
For nearly 100
per
establishments.
business.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
they're just seeking that help, so
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Yeah. If I would have broke it down like item by item and number of times and the labor, and it would have been a
More.
lot.
Would've been
Yes, because if
Just
you
raise
figure
Thank
it
you
your
very
out.
much.
license
Thank
for
you.
more money. Raise your license for more money. Don't make the city pay it.
I'll pay my part. And I let them come in and do their inspections.
And we also have several that are inspected more than 3 times due to numerous complaints. You know, so I mean, we're expecting some people 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a year.
I know.
You know,
You never know.
coming all the way from sitting, so
Oh, yes.
4 or 5 times a week.
They all different.
Oh, yes.
You're like a bank auditor, they just show up at your door.
Yes,
Let it
absolutely.
know.
That's exactly right.
I
And that's the
remember
way it
those.
has to be.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're glad to provide the service on behalf of the county to the city. We've been doing it for a number of years. I mean, we wish to continue this service, but I mean, it's y'all's decision.
So our first payment would be when? January 2024?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no, like I said, mostly everyone's budget was already set for 2023, so there's no charge for anyone, any city. It doesn't start till the 2nd and 3rd year.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Guess Sandra's got to budget that one.
Somebody gotta do it.
Next year.
Yep. Okay.
I'll donate my $1.
any other questions?
Thank you.
Favor of the council?
Can't even find where it was on the
I make a
agenda.
motion to renew the interlocal agreement between the city of Aransas Pass and the San Patricio County to provide health-related services for a 3-year period beginning January 1, 2023 through December 31st, 2025, with the fees attached, whatever fees started on the 2nd year and the 3rd year.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now we're gonna go to consider an act on renewing agreement with the Family Counseling Service for an employee assistance program EAP for 1 year period beginning January 1st, 2023 and ending December 31st, 2023.
We do this every year, Mayor and Council, and it's a service provided to employees. And as is indicated there, it lasts for 1 year. We'll come back to you again next year if you agree.
It's an important service.
I make a motion to renew the agreement with the Family Counseling Service for an Employee Assistance Program for 1 year, beginning January 1st, 2023 and ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Consider an act on entering into an agreement with Joe Dixon at Texas First Group LLC for interim city secretary services.
And this is for interim only. They do not deal in permanent. We would not be getting someone because the ones who are available would be available. They just finished jobs in other cities. They want a break, and so they would not be available until right after the first of the year. But we're getting pretty close to that already.
I move to enter into an agreement with Joe Dixon at Texas First Group LLC for interim city secretary services.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we're gonna go through the monthly, or we're gonna go through?
No, you have
Yeah,
them
we've
already.
got those on the computer.
We're gonna go to case number ESA 2211-05. Consider an act on a request from ESA Review Board to amend section 6.6D of ESA Ordinance 2020-4319.
Before you get started, Vicki raised a good point in the telephone call today to further explain, Jose, and you can do this easily, but explaining why one is 200 feet and another is 500 feet. At first, if you could explain that.
Yeah. Okay, Mayor and Council, thank you. This is a text amendment under the ESA ordinance, and we've been having a little bit of a challenge in processing this section. It has to do with the notification of landowners. The main issue is about the requirement for the 200 and then the 500. Before, it was showing 500. However, we realized in practical terms that for the ESA 1 district, the 500 creates a lot of generation of residents surrounding, an applicant's property, which costs more in terms of mailing those out because of density within those areas. And so practically, in other applications such as P&Z and also ZBA, the standard is 200 feet to property owners. And so we thought it wise to reduce it from the 500 to the 200. However, when it was discussed at the ESA Review Board, they made mention that for the District 2, that 500 should be maintained because most of those areas are sparse, and therefore it doesn't attract so much number of residents around, thereby generating a lot of mailings. And also, it shows that it's in there that any significant property that needs to be notified will have to be notified. So that covers anybody who will be missed, that when we feel it is expedient to notify any property owner that it might impact, we will still have to notify them anyway. And so that is what is before you today.
Okay, so it's just because we're trying to minimize the paperwork? Is that why we're reducing it from 500 to 200?
That is one, but not all, because
Okay, because I don't think reducing paperwork is something that if we have to do, we have to do. That's the only reason why I
Yeah.
think we need to leave it at 500.
no, the 500 to the 200 in the District 1.
Okay.
What I said again was that with planning and zoning and ZBA, that has been the standard. And so we feel it doesn't actually affect any other thing besides the generation of so many millions. 200 has been a standard way of notifying property owners.
So why is the second one staying at 500, District 2?
Yeah. So the difference between the District 1 and District 2 is that within a District 2, it is an area that is much more of a significant concern to be looked into. It's more an intensified area of environmental concern. And so we consider that it has to be looked much more. Mostly within the District 1, it has to do within the inner city where areas have been developed already anyway. And so it doesn't affect or attract environmental concerns that much. That is one significant point, in addition to what we just said. So most of the areas are already developed, but they are in a sensitive, maybe a wetland or something, close to it.
So is there a map that shows District 1 and 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There's map and demarcated areas and all of that. And that's what the ESA board uses to make determination. And mostly these, the District 1, people come in for single family development, trying to put their single homes on those properties. So, but for the District 2, mostly within areas where there's bigger wetlands and stuff like that to look into.
So you didn't provide the map to us for us to see 1 and 2 on this? Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was much more of a text amendment. So, but if you want, we can provide.
I can't even open it, even though I opened it on my computer.
Do you request that you see the district maps?
No, because I know that she was.
Oh, is it on here?
No, I can't
Oh,
open
I
it.
didn't think so.
No, it's not there.
I can't open the presentation.
I think it comes down to, do you want to stay with 500 for both of them or reduce 1 to 200? I think that's what it comes down to. Otherwise,
Correct.
they're
Yeah.
both going to be 500, if that's what you want.
And the reason why we want to let the District 1 be the 200 is that it's much more within inner city areas that are mostly developed. And so the level of impact of environmental sensitive areas are not as high as the ones within the District 2. That's what we are saying. Mostly it is much more of single family homes people want to infills and stuff like that. Infill housing development.
If you want to wait and see a map, then we can table this. If the mayor agrees, we can table this if that's something you feel you need. Is that correct?
Yes, but I don't think it will make any difference other than this is a text amendment.
I kind of see it either way. It's just that, the environmental sensitive area is environmentally sensitive. We want everyone to be included
right.
or have, knowledge of it. So, I don't know.
Seems like I don't know, it seems like keeping everything as uniform as possible is kind of where I stand on it. Instead of, you change, you got this here, it just causes a bunch of confusion, in my opinion.
And I'm looking at the environmental sensitive, whether it's in a neighborhood already there. I would like to just leave it at 500 for each one. That's just my.
That's what
So I make a motion to deny this
The neighbor
request.
says, well, I wasn't informed. Oh, well, you live 210 feet away.
Right.
I think 500, especially in a neighborhood, is important. I personally would like to stay with the 500 and keep it uniform to everything.
Me too.
On the ESA. So I make a motion that we deny this request.
It already says 500, correct?
Yes.
Yep, that's what I thought.
All right.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we're gonna go to consider an act to renew an agreement, no.
No, there's another one.
No, there's another ESA right below it.
Yeah, one
Oh,
is,
I'm too high.
one is the,
7-9.
Okay, yeah, I'm going backwards.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna go to case number ESA 2211-06, which is considered an act on request from ESA Review Board to amend section 7.2H of ESA Ordinance 2022-4319.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, this is another section under ESA Ordinance 7.2.H. The H section requires that applicants will have to get permits from U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This is a much more complex requirement that costs very high for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to provide report and approve such document permit. Like I said earlier, a lot of this inner development within, let's say, the District 1 has to do with single family structures. And to do one, the minimum you can get is about $6,000 for the Army Corps of Engineers permit. However, if you look at the I, which we are replacing with the H, it also says approve of approved applicable state and federal permits pertaining to the development of the site. If you take the H out, which is also under the same requirement for state and federal permits, it gives you the idea that all permits that is under state and federal, that is including the USACE, will come under the I, the following one. So it will not, the H will not be needed. And so we are canceling out the H, which is more costly for such development as a single family structure, and then put in the I, which is at the same time requires the state and federal permits anyway. So that's the amendment, taking the H out and placing the I, which serves the same purpose.
was this recommended by the ESA board?
Yes, all these
Okay.
text amendment has gone through the ESA board, including the one that you denied, and they recommended approval unanimously. So.
Any other questions?
So if you going to build a house in District 1, which we don't have a map, so I don't know where that is, but according to the way it's written now, they must obtain a report from the Army Corps of Engineers to develop on that piece of property.
Yes,
Okay. And you're saying that's around $5,000-6,000.
yes.
So ESA board says to amend that to comply with all applicable state and federal laws.
Yeah.
Well, who is regulating that? How does the
That-
city know if they're
All they have to
complying with
do,
all state and federal laws?
yeah, the state and federal laws, they have to hire an environmental consultant to come out with those research and make sure they meet that. But if we have to follow the USACE, Army Corps of Engineers, they have to go into a very technical application process from them.
Okay.
That is different.
So amending it to
Yeah,
the city is requiring,
the applicant to get a consultant
okay,
to certify that it doesn't need all of that.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And there is no wiggle room on this where the city can say, we're gonna just forego this, you don't have to go that route.
No.
is something that's going to be required. I wanted to make sure that it says
Yeah.
that we require, regardless of who it is.
Yeah,
Or
so.
what company it is, that it's all required.
Correct. So the proof of approved applicable state and permit pertaining to that is what the applicant has to get an environmental consultant to certify that it meets everything, not from the city.
I do want to make sure the city says, you know what, don't go that route. We'll just go ahead and proceed with it. You don't have to get that. I want to make sure we're not.
No,
Yeah, that we don't have,
Yeah.
we don't have
No,
we can't veto this particular one, that it has to go through on everyone.
correct.
I just want to make sure
Mhm.
on that.
So make a motion to act on a request from the ESA Review Board to amend section 7.2H of ESA ordinances 2020-4319.
I'll second. Do we have to put in it that it goes to 7.2I? Or just leave it the way it is?
Yeah, just leave it the way it is. We'll
Okay.
that
I'll
you
second.
approve. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to community enrichment. Is considered act and awarding a request for proposals for the 2023 annual Independence Celebration to Western Enterprises in the amount of $20,000 and selecting a date of Saturday, July 1st, 2023.
Mayor and council. We went out for bids a little earlier this year. Well, it's still 2022. We're looking at 2023's show. We received 2 bid packets for this show. After reviewing the contents of both and verifying those against what we requested in our bid package, the 2 proposals came in very close in cost to the city. One was from Half Off Fireworks, which is the company we used last year, and the other from Western Enterprises, which is the company we had used previously for 8 years. They, again, were very close in dollar amount. Western Enterprises show is the shorter in length. However, looking at the contents of the show, our recommendation is still to move forward with Western Enterprises and to award the bid there. While Half Off Fireworks did provide a good product and they were good to work with last year, we just feel returning to Western Enterprises would be the best option. We're also seeking for the approval of the date, Saturday the 1st of July.
And I think the difference between the 2 companies was like 2 minutes. And Western Enterprises does a grand finale, and the other one really does not.
So the show from Half Off is a 15-minute show with a 2-minute finale. Western Enterprises is a 12 to 13-minute show with a 20 to 30-second finale. What we really looked at was the type of shells used. So again, it was a good show last year, but the height was a little missing. We did discuss that with them and asked them to come back with some of the larger shells, which they provided for. However, in the Western Enterprise show, the entire contents of their shells were kind of those larger ones. So
I make a motion to award the request for proposals for the 2023 Annual Independence Celebration to Western Enterprises in the amount of $20,000 and selecting the date of Saturday, July 1st, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now we're gonna go to development services. Was this considered an act upon approving the agreement with K. Freeze and Associates for Texas Department of Transportation water main relocation project for $14,270.
Hello, Mayor and Council. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen that overpass is being built on Highway 35. So basically, we have a water line that we own, and Texas Administrative Code governs how much coverage we're supposed to have on that pipe. So we're good on top, but they're actually digging out a ditch right next to it. So when the slope of the ditch, that gap between the slope and the pipe is now in conflict. I did try to convince TxDOT to maybe cap it, to convert from a U ditch to a V ditch and cap it with concrete, because if you can actually do like a paving material, then it gives you more flexibility in terms of that coverage. It seemed pretty promising at first, and sure enough, TxDOT came and said, no, we're not going to do that. You have to move the line. So the permit we had gotten to put in the right-of-way basically states that if it's ever in conflict, that in the future we have to move it at our cost. So that's what this is for. We do have to get engineered. It's not a grant. It's basically coming out of our budget. So this is something that I'm proposing for our guys to do in-house so we can get the tax dollar and try to stretch it as far as we can. The good thing about us doing it in-house is that there's going to be 2 receipts, piping and backfill. Those are the 2 receipts. That's what are going to be our 2 expenses for this project. But other than that, we do have to get engineered, and this is what this is in front of me to approve the K-Freeze contract.
What's the time frame on getting this done?
They told us as long as we started the process that they're going to work with us. But of course, they give us 60 days to do that, and we're already at the tail end of that time frame. So.
I make a motion that we approve the agreement with K-Freeze plus Associates for Texas Department of Transportation Water Main Relocation Project for $14,270.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now we're gonna go to consider an act and approve a change order number 1 to the contract with Bridges Specialties Incorporated for the Weiring and Wheeler wastewater rehabilitation project in the amount of $21,000 and a contract extension of 105 consecutive calendar days.
21,200.
Mayor, Council, Eric Villarreal with Ardura, engineer of record on this project. The change order that we have in front of you is for some unforeseen conditions during construction. The method of construction was pipe bursting, and so when they started construction, they found several joints within the pipe that were disjointed, so they couldn't get their TV camera in, and then additionally they could not get their drill head through to pipe burst. And once they started, they needed to fix those point repairs. In good faith, they did it because of the method of construction, pipe bursting. They had only anticipated it being done for 1 day so that residents wouldn't be without sewer service. And so they did it, and now we're closing out the project and really just trying to clean up, get them paid for work that they actually did, trying to match quantities on the as-builts that are going to the state and for y'all's records. I will add that with the change order, they're still below the allowable 25% by state law, and also under the construction budget that was given with the Table 2 in the application for this project. That additional money will be used for other projects that are being amended into the project. Some of the other projects that are still have been funded but not fully, and so this will close out the project, allow for that leftover money to be used in other projects around the city.
So this contract also includes an extra 105 days to lay 295 feet?
That's just to match the state grant, the state contract. They were done within 2 days, but
So this has already been done?
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're basically
Okay.
cleaning up the project, closing it out, and making sure that once the construction was done, the change order's done, that it doesn't exceed. So originally, the contract date was for 105 days previous, but since we're doing a change order, we extended it past this date.
Any other questions?
No. already done, so. I make a motion that we approve change order number 1 to the contract with Bridges Specialties, Inc. for the Waring and Wheeler wastewater rehabilitation project in the amount of $21,200 and a contract extension of 105 consecutive calendar days.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to citizen comments. Citizen comments are intended for the matters that are not scheduled on the agenda. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes and state your name and address for the record. Be advised that the Texas Open Meeting Act prohibits the city council from responding and discussing your comments. The law authorizes the following: make a statement of factual information, recite existing policy, advise that this subject may be placed on the agenda for a subsequent meeting.
Evening again. You all know me, Elise Chacon, South Houston Street. I am going to remind y'all it has been 621 days that our city has been in NFIP violation. On August 22nd of this year, I was removed from the council agenda and told I could not speak on the NFIP violations and berm removal due to a lawsuit with the Hernandezes over a fence line. 8/26, I received a certified letter from the city attorney that I could not speak on the agenda due to that the city did not have enough information on the lawsuit over a fence line. 8/29, my attorney, Mike Clark, emailed the city attorney the lawsuit in its entirety and showed it had nothing to do with the city and requested I be put on the agenda at the earliest meeting. 8:30, the city attorney responded to my attorney that she had received his email and would review with her client and get back to him. It has now been 97 days and no response, even though I've brought it up multiple times during citizen comment. On 11/28, the city manager violated my 14th Amendment right and committed official oppression by allowing Gilbert Hernandez to speak on these same properties at the P&Z meeting. Again tonight, both the city attorney and the city manager have now violated my 14th Amendment right and displayed official oppression by allowing them once again to talk on these same properties that y'all shut me down on. My attorney and I are still requesting to be responded to and to be put on the agenda to talk to y'all about these NFIP violations and the burn removal. The only good thing I can say about this evening is at least the citizens of Aransas Pass have faces to go with names. Thank you.
Hi guys, Matthew Breeze, longtime AP resident. I have a quick question. What are illegal tamales? It seems like that might have been a government service and kind of frivolous. You might be able to just do away with it and replace it with nothing. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about the Fourth Amendment. It says that the right of the people to be safe, secure in their houses, persons, and papers against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue except upon probable cause. So whether or not the Fourth Amendment applies to administrative search warrants for fire inspection, doesn't matter. The statute clearly says that they have to have probable cause. And I'm still concerned with the actions of the chief, who was showed on video. He's not here today, but he said that evidence of violations outside of a premises give them justification to search inside of premises or even neighboring premises. I just want to remind you that that's not actually what the statute says. The statute says that you need probable cause. The magistrate may consider evidence of violations outside, but still does not do away with the need of probable cause. It's not an automatic probable cause because I'll keep using the analogy that I didn't cut my grass, so now fire department, police department can now search my premises or my neighbor's premises. That is not what the statute reads, and if no one should even think that, it doesn't even pass the smell test, it doesn't even sound right. Never mind the importance of necessary of probable cause. It's not a new concept. I'm sure we're all familiar with it. The founders put it in the Fourth Amendment because they didn't think the federal government had the authority to conduct searches, but they put it in there anyway. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Still concerned about the Fourth Amendment and administrative search warrants. And and furthermore, after Corey Elron's interview, it seems that there is strong evidence to the contrary of probable cause. In fact, there might be some sort of conspiracy between certain city officials and, I don't know, giving some sort of false pretense to go search Mr. Followell's gym back a few months ago. And even now today, it's been, what, several months, and the case has been passed on to a neighboring judge and still not heard. I'm sure that judge is like, this is outlandish. Why would he even bring this case? But anyway, I digress. Fourth Amendment still important. You need probable cause. I shouldn't have to come over here and remind you. You should all know it. Thank you.
Jason Followell, 350 South Houston. Actually, on that, they only have 30 days, by the way, to do codes. It's already been over 90 days, so the case should already be dropped out. Roxanne knows that, but she don't know how to do her job. All right, so these are criminal trespass warnings. This is for Chief Blanchard, Gary Edwards, Nathan Kelly, Jason, and Roxanne to my facility. I have all the data on here for their criminal activity, and as per your policy manual, you are to investigate these, so I expect an investigation to all these, and I'll hand them to you. These are my official complaints against these guys. And if the investigation is not done, you have to send me a written response on it. I'll seek legal on that too. So, I would like to be placed onto the agenda for several items here. One of them in particular is the police department broke charter, meaning that when they came into my gym, for code violations you were actually talking about, they have to serve me either with a citation or send me to magistrate or a verbal, and I got to take care of them, or we go to court. That never happened. Instead, y'all had an executive session the day before my raid of my gym, and the next day y'all raided my gym, and y'all sat in here and talked about it. And I know, because nobody in this town likes y'all, and they feed me all the data. I'll give this to you, Gary. Pay attention when I'm talking to you, please. I wish to be placed on the agenda for the exact code violations of Kelly's place. So Chief Kelly has the same code violations I do, and yet your building code guy said he's exempt for everything. I'd like to know why, so I'd like to be placed on the agenda for that. And before I run out of time, I'm going to get to the mayor's first. This one's very important to me. So the mayor's personal property had engineering done of $59,900 to your personal property that we taxpayers paid for. I have the documentation in my hand. I would like to know, oh, you know too, because all y'all voted on it. You can smile away. Why y'all keep stealing our money? So I would like to know, instead of going to the mayor's property, how come y'all didn't go to Sherwood's property that's been annexed for years and pay for their sewer water lines? This is abuse of power, conflict of interest, and embezzlement by the mayor. I wish to be placed on the agenda. My other one, the warrant issued to my property. Funny you said that. The warrant outside of my property had code violations that were outside of my property. One of them wasn't a code violation, it was never cited, and the knockbox, your boss, said it was against the Constitution. They used them two outside items to get inside my property. I would like to be placed onto the agenda to find out why y'all broke charter and did that. Citizens, if you'd like to know about the mayor's property, I have all the data here. We did spend $59,900 engineering his own property with our taxpayers' money. Quit protecting him. Quit protecting him and her. They all need to go. So does your boss. I have not met you yet, sir, but I hope you're an honorable man and you will do your job. I will give these up to you after the meeting. Thank you.
I don't know what he's talking about. Anybody else?
Well, then I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?